超速英単語
episodic, shaft, patronage, bulletin, trait, prop, inactive, dice, ashore, oppressive, comply, flaw, comrade, hydrogen, haughty, abide, consistency, usage, rectangular, proceed, disciple, equate, illiterate, handwriting, temperate, subordinate, hierarchy, artifact, scoop, arbitrary, brute, procure, regimen, discard, dazzle, interbreed, hailstone, discriminate, solemn, resistant, fanatic, populate, intuition, novelty, squander, fabricate, accelerate, allocate, generalization, scholarly, edible, conjunction, hurdle, transcript, overlap, livelihood, hindrance, supposedly, likelihood, warehouse, intrusion, submerge, bachelor, blink, cone, converse, repel, plea, immerse, invaluable, bedrock, unify, informative, brew, fertility, compile, mandatory, unpredictable, prescribe, timber, correlation, pupa, inhibit, tramp, distract, marketable, sizable, marginal, devour, corpse, spouse, drastic, forestry, epidemic, enlist, spine, dismissal, hemisphere, realism, depict, quota, batch, ecology, propel, admittedly, segment, fringe, folklore, apprentice, willow, cling, battlefield, pottery, interface, dependency, enumerable, circulate, breakwater, periodical, vaccine, recreate, intestine, concur, auditorium, jubilant, bizarre, consonant, formulate, impulsive, juvenile, coil, foe, brazen, barren, manifesto, negligence, imagery, dictate, minimize, clan, invariably, managerial, transfusion, empathy, prefrontal, customary, bearing, adolescent, indignity, documentation, compatible, conspicuous, menace, diplomacy, contend, ranch, ripple, contagious, wingspan, pharmacist, genetics, descriptive, unparalleled, recurrent, bosom, extinct, occurrence, catastrophe, sensuous, impair, peripheral, marsh, apathy, stealth, crusade, mediocre, recollection, majestic, testament, ascribe, intelligible, projection, broaden, trench, traverse, displace, canary, frugal, livestock, conjecture, opt, dispense, alumnus, reroute, encyclopedia, thesis, have, frightful, proliferation, spontaneous, factual, superficial, arise, psyche, abusive, distort, arc, monotonous, nourish, flush, liberalism, textile, advocate, entity, hurl, eminent, excel, enrage, settler, mainstream, meditation, trolley, deem, advantageous, fragile, aquaculture, intake, aviation, adversity, enrich, commute, sergeant, syndrome, socialize, exhaustive, abound, discreet, pitiful, elude, knowledgeable, feasible, archaic, drawback, magnify, definitive, offset, tram, ferment, recipient, contributor, commentary, scrutiny, tariff, hive, fishery, shipment, inject, enforce, potentially, relish, negotiable, proficiency, thrive, comprise, reinforce, landmark, ascertain, consecutive, symbolism, harness, lapse, perseverance, decidedly, prevalent, focal, riot, trigger, photosynthesis, liberate, mobile, latitude, locality, tolerance, cipher, lunatic, casualty, conscientious, legacy, authentic, con, irrelevant, pest, campaigner, integral, situate, formidable, emergence, launder, forefather, tranquil, premium, underwater, secrecy, aspiration, stellar, tilt, precision, foresee, odyssey, induce, responsive, hall, refurbish, radiation, redundant, velocity, equilibrium, thaw, banter, practitioner, delicacy, inconsistent, toll, contradict, mound, gratify, screening, bibliography, catalyst, colonize, disability, intricate, bypass, dioxide, refrain, altitude, entangle, compensate, rotten, entrepreneur, equator, rain, moody, alcoholism, rouse, standardize, indulgent, withstand, variant, intrinsic, hideaway, stereoscopic, humpback whale, absorption, disdain, discredit, interact, elixir, prehistoric, certify, adorn, pendulum, concede, fluorescent, dilemma, brochure, outrageous, meaningful, brisk, extravagant, territorial, orderly, perplex, inscribe, unwind, facilitate, contrive, mystify, genre, eccentric, retrieve, nominal, populous, weird, notorious, subside, scrub, mastery, hazard, disillusion, fleeting, vulnerable, canine, willingness, lesson, prophecy, gush, reptile, erupt, captive, geology, generality, pious, sprawl, deploy, repository, wag, array, faction, brood, sanitation, surcharge, shellfish, utterance, oblivious, compress, tickle, bully, northward, municipal, bumper, keenly, clerical, query, evenly, arouse, conserve, outgoing, polar, reunite, implication, furnace, eventual, ancestry, embrace, emit, pollute, consolation, simplify, apprehensive, impractical, alchemist, transcribe, gauge, escalate, maze, anatomy, homage, staple, peninsula, mischievous, decouple, idealistic, scarcity, collision, suffice, flip, emphatic, perpetual, coalition, wheelbarrow, pastoral, astrology, negligible, shrub, incidentally, metabolism, bureaucracy, glaze, pretentious, sovereign, alternatively, ingenious, duplicate, deficiency, concession, feat, expend, memorable, module, cripple, philosophical, anti, arctic, shrewd, bishop, peg, gifted, lunar, posture, allege, census, scan, linger, impersonal, toil, mockery, pragmatic, static, durable, surge, encase, provisional, operational, incorporate, ridicule, indispensable, disarm, intact, devastate, axis, toxic, surpass, pointless, disrupt, pebble, efficacy, satire, serial, accordance, victimize, attachment, rumble, cater, germ, genesis, disastrous, phobia, exert, ambiguous, endanger, administer, proximity, bounty, patriotism, infancy, nationwide, pave, fury, tiresome, dispel, merchandise, supervise, drought, revelation, beverage, explicit, rustic, endorse, friction, afflict, underestimate, notwithstanding, invoice, accentuate, linguistics, literal, amplify, illuminate, dogmatic, freight, ironic, liberation, hybrid, chatter, statute, innate, anthropology, slump, intrude, existent, disregard, adolescence, harmonious, astounding, nutrient, blur, specimen, mercury, finite, paramount, differentiate, expressive, legitimate, aspire, pulse, wreck, viscous, rotate, glacier, superb, linguistic, vertical, inventive, imbalance, intervene, stun, strand, glare, divert, filling, decry, venue, merge, brink, stout, tedious, twig, stationary, haven, speculate, clarify, manifestation, slop, eloquent, aesthetic, predecessor, charcoal, subsidy, armory, cylindrical, bait, ring, defective, questionnaire, migrate, abnormal, gender, indulge, rebellious, clutch, skeleton, integrate, cosmopolitan, shudder, coincide, commonplace, autonomy, archaeology, postulate, intolerance, decimal, coherent, rash, shove, inflammable, hygiene, manipulate, mimic, dissolution, mirage, incomplete, foresight, maritime, stammer, desolate, drowsy, runway, freshwater, crust, breakthrough, adverse, nurture, cumbersome, embark, dramatist, malignant, mar, atmospheric, supportive, designate, tow, literacy, relic, disorderly, wholesome, substantially, domesticate, potent, salvage, spacious, runny, kaleidoscope, core, negligent, curator, rim, habitat, integrity, skeptic, confer, intractable, dialect, tuition, indignant, confide, detach, stature.
高評価、チャンネル登録もよろしく。